All right, you know what time it is. It's time for the Power Hour. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, aka Mr. Important. If you don't know me, then you don't know anybody. And I have a special guest joining me today. You know what? I just want to jump right into it. Her name is Miss Neicy Tribbett. Neicy, how are you?
Hey, DJ Larry, I'm honored to be here with you, sir. Now I feel important because I'm with you.
Mr. Important, right?
Yeah,
No, you're the important one. You know, you are really busy. You're a really busy woman. Really busy.
I am
You
really,
got
and
your
I
hands
love
full.
it. I love staying busy. I love being occupied doing things to keep your mind busy, especially during these times when there's so much going on preventing you from doing the norm. You
Yeah.
got to find ways to reinvent yourself, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too. You know, staying busy is key to keeping your sanity somewhat.
Yes,
You don't want to get
absolutely.
lost in. There's so much going on in this world. We can talk about this for hours and hours.
For real.
You know. Now, what do you
For
do
real.
to relax? When do you find time to relax?
Well, I'm into games on my phone. Don't
Mm.
judge me. I love playing games to kind of like unwind, words with friends or anything like
Right.
anything challenging like that. I'm always on there just doing something just to get my mind off of what's really going on and certain TV shows I watch,
Right.
Then I'll go through my YouTube and just see what's
Yeah.
going on. That's entertainment within itself, just YouTube. You don't
Right.
even need TV, just
I'm telling
YouTube.
you, you find some crazy stuff on
For
YouTube.
real, for real.
Now,
Social media is
social media
just
is something
wonderful.
else, isn't it?
Yeah.
It can be a gift and a curse.
Right.
Now, yeah, you know what I mean? Now,
Right.
one of the things that keeps you busy, which, attracted me to what you do, is your kids' biz.
Right.
And for people who may not be familiar with it, tell them a little bit about kids' biz.
So, Kids Biz was something that I started a few years ago. I was doing radio in New York, and they had what they call Circle of Sisters. And each of the announcers were pretty much doing something from their norm. Instead of hosting that night, they had a booth where they did something. And it was always my vision to have a kids' corner
Mm,
where you would have just the children performing, doing fashion shows, doing a speech, then have a big bounce house or something, all things kids in that corner. So I went to our program director, our operations manager, rather, Skip Dillard, and I asked him if I would be able to do it. As a matter of fact, a colleague of mine forced me to do a deja vu. She said, "Go and ask Skip." So I asked Skip if I could have a stage. So he said, yeah, he gave me an hour
mm,
before everything started. And so I began to put out, things, soliciting kids that may be talented and, you've done a lot and nobody recognize you. And then there's no platform for you. You can't go into a club to perform. You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
And
right.
the only time they do perform is fifth Sundays for youth service, So I wanted to create a platform for kids to be able to show their talent at this stage of life.
Right.
That way, they would be able to determine if this is what they're going to do for their life career
Right.
or if it's just a phase. And if it's a phase, just enjoy the phase,
Yeah. Yeah. And I told you earlier that I saw one of the kids on your page and she was really talented.
I
Really talented.
mean, there's so many kids. I mean, just on a regular, they don't even know how talented they are.
Right.
It's just something that they do, and they don't know that, wow, this can become something big. And of course, by me, I had talented kids
Right.
or have talented kids. Um, my son is Tye Tribbett.
Right.
And so he started at an early age along with his siblings. As a matter of fact, DJ Larry, I had my kids so close together. I was like, y'all gonna do something. Y'all gonna be famous. I said, y'all can't be the Jackson 5, but y'all be the Tribbett 4. So it was my vision for them to sing together, but it never happened. God had a greater plan. And even though they all sung together, but not as a family, they were
Right.
all involved with the group at one time. And so it just evolved to something that's greater. So I saw the talent in them, and in my travels and by me being on radio, I was on the radio in Philadelphia for years prior to going to New York, and now I'm back again. Just want to plug that.
Right, right.
But
You're
when
in
I was
Philly.
in
You're in
Philly,
Philly now. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in Philly at Philly's favorite 100.7 FM, 6 to 10 in the morning. Check it out.
Yes, yes, yes. Big shout out to Philly.
Right. And every time I would have shows, I would feature a kid, Jasmine Sullivan
Hmm.
used to sing for me when she was in braces and bobby socks.
Wow.
Yes, and she has evolved to be a huge staple,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that industry. So I just love to tap into talented kids.
Right now, I do want to talk about the way we grew up versus the way they're growing up now. They do need an outlet such as this one, or anything. Can you remember back when we were coming up? We had community centers, and we would be able to go in and
Yes.
do they even still exist?
I don't know. They used to have the YMCA,
Yeah,
the YWCA, and like you said, every community had some type of arts and craft
right,
center, where they can go, and then even the schools
right.
would have,
Programs and
the
stuff.
art.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they took that
they
away,
took it
DJ
away.
Larry. What is that
They took it.
about?
We need that back. If anybody's watching, we need that back. We need something for the kids.
We do,
You know,
because they have all of this energy locked up in them, and it's up to us to tap in on it and channel it where it should go. And if we don't, who will?
they're in so much trouble and don't even know it. Do you know what I mean? With social media, like I said, can be a gift and a curse.
Right.
They have uh, bullying, cyber bullying going on, and this is real. This is real life stuff. You never know what your child is going through.
Right.
Sometimes they come in the house from school or wherever, and they just go straight to the room. You know what I mean? And nowadays, parents don't converse with them as
Right.
they should. So they withhold a lot of things, and like I said, you never know what they're going through. Let's talk a little bit about bullying. That's very serious.
It's very serious and it's very real.
Mhm.
At times you can say, oh, that's a phase.
Mhm.
Whatever they're going through, that's a phase. Okay. They had a boyfriend and he quit her, and they are crying profusely, and you say, okay, that's a phase. But even in that phase, it's real.
Yeah,
And so we can just brush it off as a phase because we're on the other side of it. But when we were going through, DJ Larry, hey, it was real to us. And I don't care
yeah,
who said what,
yeah,
it hurt, So
yep,
we as adults need to tap into that, listen to what they have to say, let them express the way they want to express it, and then be there for them.
yeah.
Be there for them, because if you don't, it
Mm.
can spiral out to something that's devastating and fatal.
Yeah, big
Do you
time.
hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
And
can lead.
fatal.
Yeah, fatal. It can lead to depression.
Yes.
It can lead to a whole lot of things. Once they start withdrawing, that's pretty much, you know what I mean? Now, some people say, oh, what do you have to worry about? You're a child. You don't have any worries. All you have to do. But they do have a lot of things going on. You know what I mean? And it's our job as parents to tap into their day, what went on in their day, and just talk to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Larry, like you said before, they're going through so much more than what we had to go through. I don't know your age.
I'm decent.
And I don't admit my age.
Right.
I'm gonna say this. When we was growing up, it was just like, hey, I'll see you outside at 3:00.
Yeah.
But that was nothing more than a fist fight, right?
That was
but
it,
now they're bringing weapons, sir.
Yeah.
They're bringing weapons to the school and they're using them. And not only that, not just at school, it's their environment at home.
Yeah.
It's what they have to deal with at home, because you're having babies. So you're not really ready for what you have carried. You're
Right.
not really ready for what you have birthed,
Right.
because mentally you have not grown yourself. But you have these kids at an early age and you're just going on with life as usual. And there's no structure.
Right.
Larry, there's nothing there. There's no buffers. You do anything in front of them. And so what you may do considered it as far as moderation. Whoever's watching will do it in excessiveness.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll take it to the tenth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The 10th
Yeah.
degree. So we have to be careful what we do in front of our children, because they can misinterpret it and take it anywhere. They take it to the ends of the earth, and
Yeah.
that is so hard. That's so hard.
Yeah.
And they're
Now,
not able to deal with these mental problems that they're going
no,
through.
they're not. They're not. They're not. Their minds are not strong enough in some
Mm-mm.
cases. You know what I mean? You're still developing mentally. Now, once a child, or anybody for that matter, slips into depression, you hear a lot of people say, a lot of African Americans will tend to say, well, stop being weak. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Snap out of it. Oh, just go to church and pray it away. Now, depression is not something you can just pray away. You do need to seek medical attention. You got to talk to somebody. What's your thoughts on that? When someone says pray it away or snap out of it or get over it.
Right. I agree with you. Prayer is good, but prayer is not all that needs to be done. They need to seek, or you need to seek professional help for that child. You can't do it alone. And there are professionals that have been trained to dive into the deeper parts of the issue, because basically we as parents, we just tap into, we just react to the action.
Right.
We're not we're not programmed, we're not trained to tap into what the root of the problem is. So they need professional help. They need to sit down and talk to someone and have somebody talk to them. And if it's a long-term thing, let it be. But
Yeah.
make sure you do what's required of you. Pray and seek help. Then in your prayer, ask God for wisdom to know which counselor to go to, whether it could be there at the school, or you need to go to someone more professional than what they offer at the school. But it has to be done, and it has to be done immediately. Immediately.
Right. Yeah. Who do you think has it more had it more rough? We did or they do coming up?
Oh, hands down, they do.
They do. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Even though what we went through, we thought it was devastating. Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my.
Nothing compared to what they. And the crazy and scary thing is when we're long gone, yeah, and we move on. Just think of what the next generation is going to have to deal with and go through.
I shudder to think, Larry. This is, I mean, because it seemed to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
As we say, kids are handling more and more adult situations at this stage in this era. Can you imagine what it's going to be?
Mm.
And then if you would just look, here at toddlers, I would say maybe infants, how they're able to deal with devices at such a young age.
My goodness.
Larry.
Better than we can almost.
Larry.
Right?
They can't even talk, Larry, but they can take the device and know how to go to YouTube and know how to. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have somebody now that he's about 3 years old, and he's like I call him my bonus grandson.
Right.
He can go to a remote control and call out what he wants, for the TV, and it come on. What gets me is I don't even understand what he's saying, but the TV understands and pull it up. What is that?
That's amazing that they're able to do that and that they're that advanced. Think about what we had. We had an Etch-a-Sketch. Remember that? You just twist the little thing and then you shake it to make it disappear. We had that kind of stuff.
That's it. That's it. But I say that because I'm saying they're more advanced at this stage that later on it's going to be even more so. It's going to be even more so. And there are times, Larry, back in the day when we were coming up, our parents would not tell us certain things because they felt like we can't handle it. We couldn't handle it.
Right.
So adult issues were dealt with adults.
Mm-hmm.
Now, baby, listen. The child is sitting at the table with you talking about adult issues.
Right. We couldn't even be in the same room when adults were talking.
Be in the same room. Now they're in the room and they're intaking all of the information and hearing all the responses. And then, hey, if they go in other situations, they have the answers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ever look at the YouTube clips of kids that are so like, where did he get that from? Or how could could he know to respond like that?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
come in here grown.
I'm telling you. What do you think the solution is? Like I said, like we said earlier, more uh, centers for kids, community activities. But do you think they would actually go to it? If you and I opened up a community center right now in the middle of the neighborhood and put everything they want in their games or whatever, how do you think that would turn out?
I think it would be good if you target it the right way, if you put the right attractions
Mhm.
in there. Find out what they like, what they gravitate to. It's got to be videos everywhere, widescreen. It can't
Right,
be no hokey doke stuff.
right,
You
right.
know, even kids back in the day, if they had a talent, I'm gonna switch back to talent. If they had a
Mhm.
talent on drums, uh, baby drums did not impress them. You understand what I'm saying? They
Right.
needed
The
set,
real one, yeah.
the real set, and having the real set, it activated the gift in them. So if you have a community center, don't have no hokey doke little TVs, have the widescreen, have everything just, and if they like swimming, have a nice little water,
Yeah,
water park and all that, have all the bells and whistles that will attract them so much so they don't want to leave. They
right,
wouldn't want to leave.
right.
Just
'Cause
just appeal to them and their age. I think it would work. It'll be
I,
something that they'll look forward to every day.
I
And
think it'll work
then
too. Hmm.
yeah. And kids need to be around other kids
Hmm.
to know social skills, to learn social skills, how to act as a kid. So I think it'll work. I know it'll work.
Yeah, I believe
I
so too.
know it will work.
Now, it's
Outlets are very important.
yeah. I mean, a lot of times you hear us talk about the problem, but we never talk about the solution.
Never,
You
never,
never hear
never.
someone saying, "Well, this is what we should do." We should get whoever 100 black men and women and open up something for these kids, or create something, or charter a bus and take them on a trip somewhere. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Simple stuff like that, I believe, will work.
Absolutely. And Larry, it has to be affordable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You
yeah,
can't do these things and then have the prices so high
yeah,
that parents or single mothers or single dads can't handle it. It has to be affordable.
yeah.
So you would need sponsors, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And not just equip them with the attractions they need, but feed them, give
Feed
them
them.
the food they like to eat and things of that nature to keep them feeling like they're loved,
Yeah,
they're wanted, they have a place in life, have outlets for them where they can express their gifts and talents, no matter what it is.
right,
You got to
right.
be on top of everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep kids interested these days.
It's
Do you
hard
hear
to
me?
hold their attention. You're right
What?
about that. You're
What?
really right. Yeah, you're right about that. Definitely, it's hard.
Oh my God. It's
I mean,
very hard.
they
So
get
you got to be
distracted
on top
so
of
easy.
it. Say
Yeah,
that again.
they get distracted so easy.
I mean, the attention span is a half a minute.
Now, well, yeah, you're right. Now, when you say feed them, that's what I want to talk about too. A lot of children are going without food. They just don't say it. You know what I mean? They go home from school or wherever they are, and they go home to a cabinet with nothing in it, a refrigerator with nothing in it, but they won't say it because they're ashamed.
That
How do we reach those children? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, if you have an inkling, like if you're a teacher, counselor, or something, and you are sensing this,
mhm,
it is good not to put them on blast, but pull them to the side and kind of talk to them. And if they will not respond to you in words, if you offer them something and it seems like it's something that they really want and they're gravitating to it and they're like definitely, then that should give you an inkling that something's going on at home. You always got to be on top of the information about children if you're talking about a school setting. And if you're in the community, and you notice how they look, you can tell,
yeah,
and then don't question them and or them, just offer them food and just
right,
keep giving them, something that they would have and they would eat. And then have some type of way to investigate without embarrassing them again
right.
and putting them on blast and putting their family on blast. Find out, how you can do something. Just give a basket of food, leave it at the
Right,
doorstep.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
Anonymously.
right.
Just do a good deed
Yeah,
without, being noticed or wanting recognition for it.
right. Yeah,
That's so
yeah. Just
important.
do it from the heart. Do it from the
Do it
heart.
from the heart.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
We can
Random
go
acts
on.
of kindness.
Yeah,
You know
there
what
you
I'm
go.
saying?
You know what? There's so many challenges going on social media. Let's throw a challenge out there. A random act of kindness challenge.
Right.
Let's see how many people do that.
Yeah, yeah. If you notice that there's some kid that just like seem to be underprivileged, sad all the time,
Yeah,
just take them out. Maybe buy them an outfit or
yeah. Do something
buy
for
them
them.
clothes, or not. That is an outfit. It's clothes. Buy them food. Treat them to a lunch or something. You know what I'm saying? Buy a
Yeah,
toy. Just see what it would take to make him smile.
there you go.
Yeah, make
Yeah,
him
there you go.
smile.
And we
Yeah.
watch people walk up crates and fall off crates, and we laugh at that. But let's start a challenge. Help a child.
How about that? How about that?
We
And
can
film
talk
that.
about it
Look,
and
look, we
film
video
that, right?
everything. Video that. Not so much you doing it, but their reaction.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
can talk about this all day, all night.
Right.
Stay on this topic, and I thank you so much for joining me today. We have to get your son involved in this. We need to. You think he'll do it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Let's
I
get him.
have
Let's get him
two.
on the next show. Let's get
I
Tye on
have
the next
two.
show.
Yeah, I have two of them that's very active and
Well, let's
in
get
the
both of them on the
industry.
next show.
Well, let's see what we can do.
Let's make it happen. And we
All
just talk
right.
about some things. Look, it was a
Okay.
pleasure having you on. This
I'm
is home for
honored.
you now. Whenever you want to come back on, you just hit me up
Oh,
and we'll do it again.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yes, yes. It's the Power Hour right here on Indie Central TV.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And y'all listen to me every morning. Philly's favorite 100.7 FM.